Been a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. Where's my favorite place to live, and why do I hate the US? All right, this is Mike Cernovich, and we're back with another YouTube video question. This one is about travel and where's my favorite place to live. And I kind of want to title this "There's No Shangri-La." Shangri-La was sort of this mythical paradise that a sci-fi guy wrote about. And you go there and everything's perfect. And I've realized there is no Shangri-La, but I do not like living in the US. So let's start with why I don't like living in the US, and then let's talk about my favorite place to live, favorite place to visit, and we're even going to talk about a book. So we're going to plug it all together because I do want to keep this as Florian said, these videos are almost like Gorilla Mindset Part 2. These videos are kind of like free Gorilla Mindset. We're calling it, it's like advanced Gorilla Mindset, right? So by now, hopefully, you've all read Gorilla Mindset, you've been applying it, and now we can just see how everything applies to specific concepts. Because when it comes to travel or where you live, abundance mentality comes in, scarcity mindset comes in. So I'll tell you my big issue with the U.S. I realized I had a real problem with the U.S. when I was visiting Croatia. So I wasn't able to travel for years because I had a skin condition that literally made me not able to travel. My skin is still kind of fully recovering. If you look closely, you can see a little dryness here. And so I couldn't be on a plane longer than 3 hours because part of my treatment is I run the pathway of itching and pain kind of run down the same one. So if you can inflict a lot of pain on yourself, you don't itch. So I could either be clawing at my skin, and I had it all over. I posted this at Danger Play. I had red skin syndrome, had it all over. So I would have to go into a scalding hot shower, or I would run my hands even today under scalding hot water. And then you run cold water under it. So that you just, you get that pain, but then at least you're not itching. Because itching, if you want to talk about like hell, if you want to get deep and talk about like Dante's Inferno, itching and burning, you can inflict torture on people for a long time, because I was essentially tortured for fucking like 2.5 years. So anyway, I didn't travel much. I wasn't able to travel. And then I started doing more international travel. And so I took some short hop trips to Cabo. So I went to Cabo, and we're going to talk about Croatia, but this is a 20-minute podcast, video, whatever you want to call it. So, buckle your seatbelts. So I was in Cabo with, some good friends of mine, and it was like an amazing time. We got pure MDMA, I rolled balls. It was like Nikki Beach. It was amazing. You can go to a pharmacy, you can buy steroids, or whatever. So I was kind of on my, my come down from the MDMA and the serotonin depletion, but I was going back to the U.S. and I was just like, fuck, you can't do anything here. Everything's illegal in the U.S. And I kind of filed it away, and I was in Croatia. And I stayed at a hotel by the Adriatic. I think it's the Adriatic Sea. Is it Adriatic? Yeah, the Adriatic Sea. And they had these cliffs. I'm like, well, fuck it. I want to, jump off a cliff into the water. And I kind of was like sneaking around. Where's hotel security? And I had this weird kind of like anxiousness, because in the U.S., you can't just say, well, I'm going to jump off a cliff into the water, because there's liability issues, security. You wouldn't even be able to get on the rocks. But in most of the rest of the world, you got freedom, but you got responsibility. If I jump off a cliff and the water's not deep enough, and I break my leg or land on coral, become paralyzed, like, sorry for you, buddy, but you made that choice. But in America, you can't even make that choice. Hotel security would be up your ass. So I realized, like, fuck, it is like a police state. In America, you're driving around, cops will just follow you, waiting for you to fuck up, waiting for you to swerve, or are you drunk, even in broad daylight. So I'd cruise a lot. I had kind of like a cool little convertible, and I would cruise up Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, and you're driving, and it's the afternoon. Like, what am I, drunk? My top's down. It's pretty clear what I'm doing, but they'll follow you for a little bit and, see what you're going to do. So there's that ominous kind of police presence in the U.S., and I just don't like it. So I don't really have any intention of returning, because it's oppressive. It really is. And that's what a lot of people from Europe come over like, you can't do anything here. It's not a free country. But there's no Shangri-La. So right now I'm in Paris. And I love Paris, but it's not perfect, and I'll tell you why it's not perfect. You can't you can't do any steroids here. So Paris has really strict laws about anabolic steroids. So right now I'm not even on TRT. I brought nothing over with me. 100% all natty, bro. And fuck, like I don't want to be natty. I don't want to be off stuff. I threw away some Deca and a bunch of syringes, and I'd found a really good testosterone cypionate that there was no edge to it. The bloating wasn't really that bad. The bloating was actually almost non-existent on the cypionate, which is really rare. That's all gone. I can't, it's like, fuck, I can't bring anything here. So I got nothing here. Completely all natty. Because you can't do steroids here, right? Whereas I could go to Thailand and buy them over the counter. But in Thailand, I went to this like full moon party, which was a lot of fun, and you can't get MDMA there though. You can't get ecstasy, what people call it, like the pure version, because Thailand has really strict drug laws. So what you're going to learn is countries' drug laws are like completely arbitrary. They don't make any sense, and that's why there's no Shangri-La, because I do like to do drugs and responsibly. And if you're under 25, drugs are bad. Don't do them. This is just my personal experience and what I happen to enjoy about life. I like steroids. I like MDMA occasionally. Like 3 or 4 times a year. You don't want to burn out the your neurotransmitters, but yeah, I occasionally like to do that kind of stuff. So in Thailand, you can get kind of like anything you want as far as performance enhancing compounds, but you can't get MDMA. It's like big prison time. So everywhere is like that. There's nowhere that's perfect. So do I have a favorite place to live? I mean, probably before America started to get really police statey, probably San Francisco was my favorite place to live for a while, but then San Francisco changed. And that's another thing you learn about life is you change and places change. And there's no Shangri-La, because even if the place you thought was perfect, you go back there, you're different. It's different. Might not be perfect anymore. So I'll give you a general idea where I like to live. And we are going to talk about this book. Believe it or not, I am going to tie this all together. I actually thought about this video when I was walking. And the idea is I like walkable cities. Paris, New York, San Francisco, even where I lived in Southern California, walkable cities. There's a website, I think it's called walkscore.com. And it'll tell you, if you leave your house, what can you get? Can you get cafes? Can you go to grocery stores? Can you get to a gym? I want to walk everywhere. That's what I like to do. I love to walk. So I want to live in a place that has a walk score of 99. I can just go out of my apartment. Okay, there's the cafe. There's the gym. There's this. Everything is close. I can just walk everywhere. I can walk for hours. Well, Paris is walkable. It's beautiful. But you can't get a good massage here at any price, right? So in Thailand, I had my shoulder finally, I don't know if you can hear it, but it clicks. I have all this scar tissue and everything from doing that all day, right? Using the trackpad on my laptop instead of, now I have a wireless mouse. But she broke it up, some lady in Bangkok, and I went and saw her, and I'm like, man, I want her to travel with me, but she's got kids. She can't do it. But you can't get the kind of massages anywhere that you can get in Thailand. You can get in Vietnam and Saigon some pretty good ones too. But the kind of massages you can get in Bangkok and Chiang Mai, they're amazing. There's no other place like it. And then now we're going to segue to this, and then we'll go back to traveling. But so I was getting a massage one day, and I was thinking about you guys, because I do think about you guys all the time. And I get a lot of questions that I'm just not really good at answering, like how do I deal with approach anxiety and meeting people? I'm just at a different stage, right? But I thought about it. I was getting massage, and I said, what? There's a lot of people that probably haven't had human touch in like months, right? I remember back when I was in college, and I didn't really have, I didn't realize there was like an approach you could take that if you wanted to like meet women or if you wanted to make friends, there's an approach. There's actually a system that you can use. So I didn't know, so I would have dry spells like everyone else. And even though I was like pretty good looking in college or whatever, I would just have dry spells. So months at a time, I wouldn't have sex or even like hook up with a chick. And you realize, physical touch it's a human need, and that's the whole point of this book. Um, there's studies about what happens if you don't touch children when they're younger. Boy, that sounded bad. But there was a Romanian orphanage where children weren't touched because the orphanages were overloaded with people. They become sociopaths and criminals, and they lack that ability to make connections with other people. So if you're maybe a little anxious about meeting people, go out and get a massage, because you need that physical touch. You're touch deprived, and if you don't have that touch, the sensation of being touched, you're not going to be healthy psychologically. You're going to have a lot of anxiety. You're going to have a lot of problems. I would recommend definitely jerking off before a massage, though, because you will get a hard on. I learned that the hard way with male masseurs, so take care of that, definitely. They're used to it, masseurs are used to it, so it isn't like an embarrassing thing. It's nothing to be awkward about, but it just kind of makes it uncomfortable if you're lying on your stomach and, you're getting your back rubbed or your ass rubbed, and your fucking cock springs up, and then you have to kind of tilt it to the side or whatnot. It's just like a logistical problem. So it's nothing to be embarrassed of, but it is a logistical problem, best avoided. So yeah, you should be getting massages all the time, as often as you can get them. And the best place for massages is Thailand. Saigon has great ones too, and they're also inexpensive. So you can get world-class massages, and I always tip big. So even with the tip, it's $20 a massage. And the massages are better than you can get in Paris, better than you can get anywhere in America. I've had active release technique. I've had all kinds of different massages done. The most expensive ones, all the best places, all the best spas. Thailand has the best massages in the world. So what's kind of like the Shangri-La? Well, could I live in Paris and move a private massage lady to just give me massages? Well, then maybe that's perfect, and maybe I'll have to figure out how to have that happen. But so I was living with a friend of mine in Saigon. Victor Pride has a website, Bold and Determined. I think a lot of you read. And we were in Saigon, got a massage, and he had an amazing massage. So we started talking to these girls. Well, how much money do they actually make for a massage? And they make like $1 a massage, pretty much. So this girl, and she works 12 hours, so she's making like $10 a day. And he's like, well, come move in with us. And it wasn't like skeezy, I was with my girl, and he has his girl, whatever. We're just like, no, like we'll pay you $20 a day, which is twice what you're making here, and you can live with us, or you don't have to live with us. Just massage us every day for an hour a day. And, if you're a white guy in Asia, there's not really, maybe I need a translator or something, but that's kind of a hard proposition to make to people. So, and then I met a woman in, Chiang Mai, and I kind of figured out how to say it. I was like, well, I ended up leaving Chiang Mai, but I said, because I had a great massage from a girl. So I told the older woman who spoke English, I go, tell her to just come to me every day to where I'm staying for $20, no boom boom. So that's kind of how I say it. No boom boom, no boom boom. Because that's if you want a massage or a massage. They'll say, if you go to a cab, let's say, say massage, you can massage or boom boom. No, massage. I don't want the boom boom. So that's kind of how you communicate it. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll move. Maybe I'll get, she's got kids. I don't know what I can do. But the whole point is, nowhere is perfect. And that's where the mindset stuff comes in. You can look at everything from a position of abundance or scarcity. I could sit and say, God, my shoulder's fucking acting up. Why can't I get a good massage in Paris? And I'm still looking, so maybe I'll find the right place. But I went to a Thai massage place, and it wasn't that good. I've been to another place, and it was like so-so. But I could say, man, my shoulder's kind of hurting. I can't get a good massage and whatever. The shit people complain about are, for the most part, white wines. And that's another thing you learn when you travel, is that most of your problems are fucking stupid. Like, they're not even worth. I don't want to say I've gotten more intolerant, because I think I've become nicer, but I definitely don't answer emails that are essentially like whining. My parents want me to do something. Okay, come live in Vietnam for a month and see real poverty. See someone sleeping on the street with their child, holding their child in their arms on the street. And then tell me about your problems. You have way more abundance. You have way more than most of the world. I mean, think about it. You're watching this somehow. It's the fucking magic of the internet. So you have an internet connection, right? You have a place to watch it, right? How? Maybe you have headphones. I have $300 headphones. Maybe you have good headphones. Whatever, dude. The fact that you're able to do this means you have so much and there's so much abundance. So you can think about where you live and say, well, because even if I lived in the U.S., I wouldn't say, it's a fucking police state, I fucking hate it. I would just accept it for what it was. I would just say, okay, yeah, it is annoying that the police follow you, but I would enjoy what's beautiful about the U.S., and that's why I don't hate the U.S. That's why I always say I hate it, right? Colorado is beautiful. The mountains, the rivers, you can walk trails, you can hike, you take your dog out, and your dog's running around playing with you, you're throwing things for your dog, and he jumps into the water. There's so much beauty in America. There's so much to it. It's great in that way, and that's what I would choose as a mindset perspective. Wherever I live, I love it. I lived in Saigon. Now, a lot of you couldn't live there because it is a developing country. There are times where I would just drive around for hours a night on my little motorbike, and you take an alley and you'd see 5 people in a room with like a 10 hut, and literally like a 10 roof or whatever. And that's just a different reality. These people, there's so many of them, they have nothing. On the other hand, I'm smoking Cuban cigars at a resort that's better than anything I've ever been to in Vegas. Because living in Saigon was better than New York. If you know how to live it, and if you have the money, best place I've ever lived. But it's very developing. It's also fucking hot. So this is another kind of funny conversation I had with Victor. I was talking to him. I was like, Victor, I feel like I'm just getting stupid. And he said, what do you mean? I go, my brain doesn't work right. And he's like, yeah, no shit. That's why I'm moving. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I finally figured it out. He said, just you walk into a sauna and you don't realize it because you become kind of acclimated to it, but it's 103 degrees sometimes, and it's like 100% humidity. It is like being in a sauna, literally, as the kids say today. So yeah, if you go into a sauna, you don't go into a sauna and start like lifting weights or doing anything active. You go there and you relax and space out. And I do love saunas, but living in one is hard, and you don't realize how hot it is because he and I would take the motorbike. So you're motoring around, the wind is cooling you a little bit, the places have AC, but we lived in this huge place and there's no central air, which is pretty common. So you walk out from your air-conditioned bedroom in the hallway and you're sweating. I didn't even want to walk downstairs. So he was like, yeah, I was looking at thyroid issues, and that's another kind of thing about life is a lot of times the solution is a lot simpler. I thought it was the same way. I was like, man, I'm just not as smart as I used to be. Guess I'm getting old. The old brain is slowing down, but it's not. It was just fucking hot, man. I was living in a sauna. So Victor kind of had like the same thing. He's like, yeah, I thought I was looking up like thyroid is going, and a lot of times your problems are caused by very simple solutions. It's right in front of your face. It's just you just don't realize it, right? So I could say, well, fucking Saigon, it's so hot and the air's dirty and it's kind of dingy, and that's a scarcity mindset, right? Because you're looking at what it lacks. Whereas I just said, man, I fucking love this place. I can go get a massage every day, $15 fucking dollars. A lot of pretty girls I can look at. It's very, very beautiful place if you know where to go. I can do anything I want to do. So if I have wine, don't drink and drive, guys. I don't drink and drive. Or rather, I don't drive drunk. But in America, you have 1 or 2 glasses of wine, boy, you better really think twice about getting behind the wheel of the car because breathalyzers don't work. They're a scam. It's easy to get a DUI even if you've done nothing wrong in America. In Saigon, I don't want to say it's the wild, wild west, but it is a developing country. There's a lot of chaos. So if I go out, I have a nice dinner, smoking cigars, drink a few glasses of wine over the course of the night, I just hop on my moto, and I just remember one night, it was like one of the top 10 moments of my night. It was just all by myself. I had like a great dinner, and I was at a great cigar lounge, and I write about this stuff kind of at Cernovich.com, which is my travel website. And I smoked great cigars. I had sashimi and whiskey and wine, and I was maybe a little buzzed, but capable of operating machinery. So I get on my motorbike, and I'm just cruising around. It's nighttime, so it's cool out. The wind's in my face. And I was just one of the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I just felt like I had an overwhelming sense of freedom. And that's another thing you're going to learn when you travel, is you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And that sounds cliche, but if you really travel, what do you value? I really value freedom. just a sense that I can kind of do what I want to do. And I remember telling people like, well, what do you like living about Vietnam? I was like, well, I feel like I can do anything. And they go, well, you can't rape people. That's kind of like that annoying thing men do. It destroys the whole vibe of the conversation. I don't actually want to rape people, despite the rumors on the internet. I don't have any interest in raping people, killing people. I would never hurt a child. I think people who hurt children are the fucking lowest form of life. So, kind of a dumb point, but that's like the man thing to do, right? Somehow interject some fucking stupid point to make yourself seem relevant and get that little ego out there. And then it just destroys the vibe of the conversation. So don't do that kind of shit. Anyhow, I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I can do anything. And that's what I want to do. I just want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I want freedom. That's what everything's about, freedom. That's why I want to have money, freedom. It's the freedom mindset. That's why if you gave me more money, I wouldn't really have more freedom per se. It's just that would ensure that my freedom would reign forever, and I would always be free. That's what money is to me, freedom. And you learn that when you travel. What do you really want? A lot of people, they want comfort and stability. If you live in Saigon, you're not ordering from Amazon. That's why people say, what do you miss about the U.S.? Well, I'll tell you, and then I'll fucking put 50 Amazon affiliate links of everything that I ordered when my girl went back to America for a month. So she went back home, and I'm like, okay, she had Amazon boxes coming every day. Quest protein bars, vitamin C serum for your face, new headphones. Fuck, what else did you buy? New jeans, just a whole bunch of stuff. And that's what America's good for, consumerism. If you like stuff and you like comfort and you like kind of logistical ease, America is great. And that's, again, what I would appreciate if I ever went back to the U.S. is I would say, well, it's great if I just see something on the internet, I just order it off of Amazon Prime, and everything is fucking cool. Abundance, right? What do we have? That's what I look at. What do we have? Don't fucking complain about what you don't have or what is lacking. Then you see everything is mindset. Everything is fucking mindset. So yeah, I would say there is no Shangri-La, but I do have favorite places. Dubrovnik, Croatia, gorgeous. You're by the Adriatic Sea and the mountain. So one thing I like is I like big bodies of water. I like the mountains. I feel that really makes you mindful, puts you in touch with kind of the universe. It's sort of one thing that makes me realize, the first time I ever saw the mountains, I thought it kind of makes you believe in God because the mountains are beautiful, right? There's something, the first time I ever saw them, I was overwhelmed with awe. I was driving actually to California for law school. Illinois, I grew up in some hick town, never been more than maybe an hour or two away from my house. And I stopped by the mountains. I was just like, wow. And that's the kind of thing, it does make you believe in a God or a universe, a higher power, because there's something in it. I'd never seen the mountains, and I was awestruck. And everyone who sees the mountains, it's just gorgeous, right? It's beautiful. So there's something about our shared humanity or something in our DNA that really makes us find the mountains beautiful. So I love to be by the mountains. I love to be by the water. But I love walkable cities, and Paris is walkable. Paris is beautiful. There's old ancient architecture and sculptures, and there's art. I love museums. So I would rate Paris high. I'd rate Dubrovnik, Croatia, high. I would rate Chiang Mai, even though it's different, high. Koh Samui, I visited there a few times in Thailand. I could live there. A lot of people couldn't because there are some touristy parts to it, but I would just kind of swim in the water. The water's warm. I really like warm water. So Chiang Mai, Koh Samui is up there. Bangkok, hard. I'm not sure that I would want to live there. The massages are great. I'm not really into the whole, sex scene. So, but if you're into that, you would love it. But you got to learn your values. That's the whole point. Is you have to travel. What do you really want? What do you really value? And then that's why I say I don't make judgments. I just give people options. I just say, well, here's, here, if you go here, here's what you can get. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. There is no judgments. So Chiang Mai could live. I spent a lot of time in Chiang Mai. Thailand, you take the motorbike, and again, freedom, right? I love freedom. I love just the freedom of getting on the little PCX 150, which is surprisingly has a lot of torque and goes fast. You ride it up the mountain to Doi Satep, ancient temples. It's beautiful. Now, Chiang Mai would be even better if it had an ocean, right? But that's the scarcity and abundance mindset. Chiang Mai would be better if there were an ocean, but you can't look at it that way. But Chiang Mai would be really high up there. Saigon maybe is my favorite place I ever lived. I would have to think about it. Paris is definitely up there. San Francisco is a top 10 city too. I don't know if I could live there now because the ROI is really low, and that's another thing you want to think about is money and mindset and ROI. So I can live anywhere I want to live. I could go live in San Francisco, but I could have an apartment here in Paris for half of what the apartment would be in San Francisco. Is San Francisco really two times better? Plus, I would have to pay a lot more in taxes. I save $30,000 a year in taxes now by not being in the U.S. by being an expat. So the ROI. What's the ROI of going back to the U.S.? It costs more money and you pay more taxes. And what do you get? But on the other hand, the U.S. is a great place to make money, right? I had a guy who said, I want to immigrate to the U.S. And I told him, well, if you want money, it's a great place to go. So anyway, I don't know. Am I rambling? I don't think so. I think I kind of tied things together because I shared my observations about the world and getting massages. Touch, guys. Buy the book or read the articles. Go out, get a fucking massage, especially if you're anxious about people. You need physical touch. It's a physical need. I'm probably happier now because I get massages, not since I've been in Paris, but ideally I get a massage 3 times a week. A lot of times I would get them 5 times a week. There was a day in Chiang Mai I had, I think, 6 hours worth of massages in just one day. It's healthy for your lymphatic system and your immune system, and it will make you more emotionally sincere and able to connect with people. But there's no perfect place in the world. So you can look at the world from wherever you are, abundance or scarcity. You can look around at everything that is lacking, or you can look around at everything you have. I happen to choose abundance. Thanks for listening in. Like and share the video. If you've never heard of me, it's Mike Cernovich from Gorilla Mindset, and you can actually buy these t-shirts if you want them. Maybe I'll put a link in, maybe I won't. All right, we'll do more questions. We'll do another question tomorrow. Ask me anything. Talk to you soon.